Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I wanted to do a long-awaited video. I've been requested hundreds and hundreds of times to do a video about the combat update and how to get better on the combat update. Now, there's not a lot that you can do. It's always been this way in H1. There's not a lot of tips that you can get besides just grinding and grinding the game, because it's just a game where, I don't know, the more hours you put in, the better you get, most of the time anyway. You know, not all the time. You can do things to improve, but this is a few tips that I have. I have 6 or 7 here. The first one that I want to talk about is the throwables in the new update. Throwables are essential. You know, I see time and time again people looting an entire area and they leave nades and molotovs just over and over all over the floor. And you know, nades and stuff are really OP now. Not only do you have the line that you can hold right click, if you hold right click, if you didn't know, you hold right click now, it shows you a line of exactly where your throwable is going to go, which is really, you know, good for new players learning where nades go. I haven't even used it. I didn't even know it was in the game up until, I mean, I knew it was in the game, but I didn't know how to do it up until tonight. I just accidentally hit right click and had the line. I didn't even know how to do it, because I'm so used to the nades, I just know where they're going to go basically when I start to throw them. But that just comes with experience over time. But nades are really essential. Smokes are really good in teams. I don't use smokes in solos very often, but smokes in teams are extremely important. If you do not pick up smokes in teams, then I don't know what you're doing, because you can block off other teams if they start shooting at you. If you get caught out in an open field, you can throw them down and hide inside of them. And it's just, you know, really essential to use smokes as much as possible in teams. I mean, they're just really handy. Next thing I want to talk about is the movement. Now, as we all know, movement has been nerfed majorly in this. You know, they slowed down your movement. They slowed down crouching. They made it to where you couldn't crouch as fast, you know, between crouches to remove crouch spamming. Movement has been, you know, really nerfed in this, but movement is still really key. Getting in behind trees, taking cover, not getting caught out in the open is extremely essential in this update, because if you get caught out in the open in this update, as much as the bullets beam you, you're done. So I mean, it's the end of you if you get caught out in the open. So movement when you get out of vehicles, which has always been, you know, pretty essential to H1Z1. When you jump out of a vehicle, make sure you jump out of a rock or a tree. Never take a fight in the open, even if you think the kid is, you know, in a bad position. Even if he's low health, it's best if you do not jump out unless you get behind a tree. You know, a lot of the times back when we first started H1, Perry would jump out. I'm not gonna, you know, throw shade at Perry, but he would jump out in the open and let his car roll away from him, and that got him killed a lot of the times. And I kind of, you know, started telling him, hey, you need to wait until you jump out next to something that you can hide behind. Even if you think you have the advantage over the kid, this game is pretty easy to, you know, even if you have a disadvantage, to win the gunfight. So it's not always a great idea to hide behind stuff. Plus, they added in all this new, you know, terrain, which is what I'm going to get into next, is using the terrain to your advantage. Here I'm using a rock to head glitch over and take out this team. But the new terrain, they added a lot of new rocks and trees, which really come in handy to, you know, peek from behind the rocks and take shots at people and then hide back behind the rocks. You know, it's all really easily manipulated. Earlier we lost a fives game because hashtag got caught out in the open and a kid was behind the rock, and he popped the helmet off the kid 3 times. 3 different helmets he popped off the kid, but that kid had the rock to keep hiding behind. Each time that his helmet kept getting popped, he would hide behind the rock, put on a new helmet, bandage up a little bit, and have it. I mean, hashtag was stuck in the open, so there wasn't much he could do there. That kid really used the rock and his terrain to his advantage. Next thing I wanted to talk about was shooting slower. This is a no-brainer in this update. You have to shoot slower. But with the bloom, as RNG as shots are right now, with bloom in the game, it's still not always going to hit exactly where you're shooting at. But shooting slower is in your best, you know, your best interest to shoot slower, even though sometimes it still doesn't always work. But my next thing is going to completely contradict what I just said, is to, if you're close range, mouse 1 spam as much as you can at the face, because the way that the bullets work right now, they just go into a small cone, they go into a small cone of fire, and if you spam really fast in that little cone of fire, it's not going to go that wide, and if you're at close range, you're 9 times out of 10 going to get a headshot. Now, spamming at close range doesn't always work, but in this update it really feels like spamming at the face at close range is just all the game is at close range gunfights right now. And that's basically all I wanted to talk about. That's my 6 little tips. It's not much, you know, some of it you may find useful, but like I said, there's not much that you can teach with H1 except just playing and grinding the game. And you know, that's what everybody's been doing, you know, for the entirety of the game. It's just been grinding and grinding to get better. And you know, with this big combat update, it's changed a lot of this stuff. So a lot of this stuff that we did learn is no longer in the game, which sucks for some people. I know a lot of people don't like that, but you know, it is what it is. You have to adapt and overcome and just move on and keep grinding the game. So hope this helped you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Also, I really appreciate the support. I just have to say that real quick. I really appreciate the support that you guys have been giving me. It's insane. I'm up 300,000 watch minutes. Like, it's absolutely insane, the amount of views, subs, you know, feedback, everything that I'm getting, and I can't thank you guys enough. And yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. I really appreciate it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.